I work with a couple companies now that I'm like, this guy is very down to earth. Like he gets it and we can have a conversation. I know that his kids are, doing great in Little League. Like, it's that level of connection where I'm like, could I be friends with this person? Do they understand? Do we have a common ground there? And then there's other people that I'm like, you didn't even answer my question. Like I asked you how your day was going and you just breezed right over it. And I'm like, it's not going to work.
Walk us through the process or what happened. Were you guys looking to sell or did someone reach out like the many emails we get nowadays? Like, I want to buy your agency, but I don't want to give you any money for it. Like, how did that work?
Yeah. So initially, we had gone back and forth. We had a business partner in common with this other company. And so that was an easy introduction. We didn't necessarily, we were mixed, right? Like I didn't want to sell because it was in the thick of like everybody's shutting down. All of the businesses were taking a huge hit, especially because we worked with a lot of like startups and seed funded and all of that. So everyone was pulling back. Everyone was pausing all of their spend and it was a rough time. So we had business partners that just didn't want to hang on anymore. And they were like, I want a salary and I want stability. And that was their phase of life. And I totally get that. But at the same time, I was, in my 20s and no family, still living with my parents. Like I was ready to go. I was like, well, we'll just ride it out. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, that was tough. But yeah, and then, we were already splitting way more than we should have on the back end as far as, what we were paying ourselves. So it was just too much.
So did you guys look to sell or did someone approach you?
They approached us. I think they really needed a project manager at the time that understood SEO, right? So they were a web development company, which obviously has some overlap. But yeah, so they approached us, we shared our books and we were like, we're basically tanking. So they were like, we'll just take care of you. We'll give you a salary and a decent package. Come on over. So as much as I didn't want to sell, I was like, all right, everybody else wants to go. Like, I'm not going to fight you and, put you in a bad situation. So we left. I was unhappy. I've never worked for anybody, right? Like I've had temporary jobs and like things like that when we were bootstrapping, but I'm not built for the salary corporate life. Like I just can't do it.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are that way. When I sold the first agency, I thought it would be great. I'd be like, oh, no more responsibilities and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah. 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 Especially, I think back then too, like I really wanted to stay in my lane as far as strategy was concerned. Like that's really my bread and butter, right? I can go find you multi-million-dollar strategies that work. But then I'm just selling websites, right? And I was like, this is sad.
Yeah. Looking back, or maybe that's what you've done with this current agency now. Are you doing what you wish you guys did back then?
Yeah.
Walk us through that. Like, what did you change?
I changed how we did prospecting a little bit. Like I said, some of those companies, they look good on the front end. They look like they fit your niche and what you're good at. And then, you get to talking to people and you're like, you're just not my people.
How do you determine that? Or do you do a small project with them first, like to test the waters, or just more conversations?
If they're super new, right? Like if they've never, if they've not been referred to me in some way, shape, or form, then sure. We have some extensive conversations before I ever give them a contract. So even through the proposal process, I'm like, I don't know, like you seem kind of like a stick in the mud. I don't think we're not going to be best friends, And that's what I like. I mean, I work with a couple companies now that I'm like, This guy is very down to earth. Like, he gets it and we can have a conversation. I know that his kids are, doing great in little league. Like, it's that level of connection where I'm like, could I be friends with this person? Do they
Yeah.
understand? Do we have a common ground there? And then there's other people that I'm like, you didn't even answer my question. Like, I asked you how your day was going and you just breezed right over it. And I'm like, it's not going to work.
I hope you enjoyed this content. If you want more content like this, make sure you click on the link on the screen or check out your most popular podcast platform where the full episode is there. And until next time, have a swank day. What are you doing? Go check it out. Click on the link. I'll see you soon.